Hello, my name is Marcus and welcome to Tabletop Reviews Lord of the Rings month. Today I'm having a look at Lord of the Rings The Search, a part of the Kosmos two-player line of games that they had going. Do they still have it going? I know it was kind of big from 2000 to 2008, sort of like that range. They had quite a few games come out in this one. I actually don't know if they're still producing an amount of games for it or if they've kind of paused on it. Having a little bit of that on that one. But yeah, The Search, a two-player only game. Only two players. You can't play solo or you can't play it more than two. Let's have a look at the table, see how it's set up and how it's played. Alright, Lord of the Rings The Search. The lid out to the side, the rulebook to the side. And just slide this over here. So, you're going to need the starting tile, looking like this. The Shire. This is the background of it. And you place that sort of in the middle of the table. Then take the two Hobbit figures, one is Sam and one is Frodo, and place them here in the middle. Just quickly showcase it to you here, green and yellow. Okay, there we go, looks basically the same. I believe the yellow is Frodo and the green is Sam. Right, then you have these two boats, put them to the side somewhere. You have all the tiles of these very different colors. You have the blue for the water. You have this brownish color for the mountains. You have the green for the woods. And of course, you just need to get it out, separated from the mountain pieces. There's a lot of mountain pieces. You have the yellow. Can I just yellow for the deserts, I believe. You have the little Mount Doom here in two pieces that you will quickly just put together and set to the side. And then you finally have all the remaining tiles. There's a whole bunch. I'm just going to bring out one pile that will place there. Alright, so the game consists of like three phases. The first phase is just kind of building out the cross. So you're going to have out, each person is going to have three things in hand, and then by turn you're going to build it out like this. And every time you have an area like this, where there's only two, right, it's only connected through two, place in one of these small ones here, so you can see what it is. And put out a mountain pass here, which will be face down. But now this is not two that is connected, it is a massive area. And finally we have this one, bringing out the water tiles here, and it. So that would be sort of a starting area here. This is kind of a terrible starting area, but we'll get to that in a second here. Then you will also play. Then you will start the actual game where you again have three cards in hand. You'll place one of them, and now it has to match on all sides. Maybe I could do this, right? And then I will move my character. Now I can't move in, I will move into an area, right? An entire area here. So I could move into the green area. That's a big area. Or I could move into one of the small areas to get something good. So the blue area I can move into. I'll get to how you get into that in a second. The yellow area, I know what I'm getting. I'm getting this vial. Not indicated, it would be spelled like that. Oh, here we get a surprise. It is either empty or it has an enemy. Let's go there and talk about what enemies do. So it's empty. Put that face down, sort of in your area, and your opponent will take a turn to get this one maybe. Now this one has this right here. This symbol right here. Can I get it close enough so you can actually see it? That symbol. Now you have it face down in your area, but if you do choose, you can flip it over, showcase that symbol, then you can move two areas. Instead of just going to the yellow here, you will go to the gray area maybe. So, well, not because you're here, but next area then you go 1, 2, right? To move a little bit further along. You move over an area, so if you decide to go into the green area, all of a sudden your abilities are much greater. You can go a far greater distance. But that round symbol allows you to move one extra space, right, when you're moving. I'll just get another character ready right here. And then I need something like that. Yes, that is correct. So let's say on this mountain pass, this is the one that you got. An orc. It has a point, and this is also how many turns you will miss because you're in combat. But if you have a person such as Pippin here, which has this red symbol, you can forego one of these stats. So that would be, use Pippin to forego one movement here. Again, you have him face down. If you decide to use him, you'll flip him face up. And then you have this one face down, you'll immediately move next turn. But again, it's trading 2 points for 2 points, so maybe it's not worth it, who knows. But that's what that red symbol means. Otherwise you will have to wait. Now, to cross into, let's just say you're here, cross into the blue area to get the tiles in the blue area, you need a boat. These tiles. To get a boat, you need to discard 2 of these mountain pass symbols. You discard these, just completely forego them, go away, and then you have the boat, and you can move into this area. In this blue area, you will find one of 4 different things. Just bring out them all. So, the main one that I drew up was an ent. An ent can be kept face... God damn it. It is as well kept face down and scores a point at the end. But you can move it up, foregoing that point, but taking an extra turn. You have here Gwaihir, or the eagle. If you choose to flip him up and forego the point, you can move in like a diagonal way straight to the next sort of area of the same kind. So you can't go like, but you can go very far to get to the next area of the same kind, giving you greater distance of movement. The last ones is the ring and golem. I'll talk about what those do when we get to scoring. And when do we get to scoring? Well, if you at some point have 30 cards in hand, and you just, but I was actually quite lucky for that one, but you just can't place any of them. You'll place them face down, like this. It will not happen this early in the game, so don't worry. And then you'll take Mount Doom and place it on there. Now Mount Doom has been revealed, and the game turns to a race to get to Mount Doom. And it's sort of you go here, and then one extra movement, and you're there. Yeah, whoever reaches Mount Doom first will score an amount of points, but then all the things that you have face down scores the amount of points that it says on. So this one would be 3 points. Also, if you reach Mount Doom, it's 5 points, and then it's 1 point if you have the ring as well and reach Mount Doom, and if you have Golem and the ring and reach Mount Doom, it's 2 points. But they will also give you -1 if you did not reach the place. So if you had the ring but didn't reach Mount Doom, it would be -1. But if you reach Mount Doom and only have Golem, it would be -1 point. Or if you just had both and didn't reach Mount Doom, it would be -2 points. And whoever has the most amount of points wins. Usually probably the person that reaches Mount Doom. That's the game. Wait, there's actually... I need to talk about placement possibilities. So you have the Shire here, and then you have the cross out. It is going to go into a 6x8. And the way you can place is either you can build upon the cross out, or you can place in between 2 existing ones. So you couldn't go... Give me something to place, yes. S1, and then like this. You couldn't do that. It would have to be down here, or up here, or in between here, or something. So yeah, but that's the game. Alright, and there we go. The gameplay of this one. I'm keeping the box here because like my entire hand can basically sink down into the box before you get to the components. Like there's a serious gap right here. Resulting in if it tips over in any way, stuff is all over the place, and I don't like that in my boxes. So that's a bit annoying. But it's not important for the gameplay. Like the setup is very quick. You just put everything in piles and then you're ready to go. And the gameplay is simple enough. It is sort of Carcassonne inspired. You have square tiles that you have to place down in a very specific way. So it's very much Carcassonne inspired in that sense. And Carcassonne I don't like super much. But what this thing does, this game does, is it allows you to have tiles on hand. That's what Carcassonne does. You need to draw up and then use just the tile that you have. This one allows you to have tiles in hand that you can choose from to play. So you never just play whatever you get, you have a little bit of a choice. And that slight change makes it better than Carcassonne. So if you're looking for something like that, I would recommend this instead. But of course it's quite different from Carcassonne because you're also moving around. Now you're moving around from area to area, but only areas that are only 2 tiles provide you with the other tiles that are friends, that score your points, or give you abilities or whatever, or of course enemies. But a larger area is going to allow you to move faster. So how do you want to create it, and is your opponent going to stop you from doing it? That sort of provides you with an interesting choice. There is of course the ring and the golem tiles that only score if they're together and you reach Mount Doom. And that is an interesting bit of it, because if you're going to go for those, you also know you need to get to the Mount Doom first. In the end, of course, when Mount Doom shows up, things very much change and you're just chasing down Mount Doom but still placing out the last few tiles that might be on hand. My experience is that it won't be until you've pretty much filled it out that you will be forced to place Mount Doom. And there is a bit of manipulation with it. Like my wife, when we played it the first time, she was about to make something bad and I could just see it. I was just hoping she's going to do it because it's going to be in my favor. But then she did the smart thing. And it was interesting to see, like, there is actually sort of a tactic here, because you can place it in multiple ways. So you could just do it like this instead. You know, manipulating the board a little bit. It was interesting to see that. Like, from the rules, I did not expect to see something such as that, where you can manipulate the board ever so slightly in your favor. And then, of course, you're moving the hobbits around, collecting these tiles, scoring a bunch of points at the end. The person that reaches Mount Doom is probably going to win, especially if the other person has the ring and golem. Alright, so that's sort of the gameplay, moving around. Again, I like it. It is Carcassonne, but a bit better. Probably some people would very much disagree with me on that one. I know. I'm unpopular opinion on that one. So let's talk about the components. All the tiles are fine. Like Mount Doom is good. It is easy to assemble and separate. To transport in the box, you have to separate it. And that is very easy to do. It doesn't feel like I'm breaking it or anything, which on some other times, like with the Everdell tree, sometimes when disassembling it, it doesn't feel good to do it right. But in this one, it's very simple, but it holds. So I love that. Other than that, you have all the tiles, which are fine. You have the smaller tiles, which kind of look like the picture tiles from parks. And then you have larger tiles, and of course with the artwork, it's very important that you know what you're dealing with. And you do on these tiles. It's very clear. There's a river in, or you have a big pool of water, or the sands, or trees, or mountains. You can easily recognize the difference between them, and if they cover one area or 2 areas, it's easy to see. So lovely on that one. And of course, you have the artwork on the small little tiles. I really like it. It takes the older style, as you can see on this one, the older style of Lord of the Rings artwork. Which has a very a charm to it, and takes it into this picture. You can still see it, like you can still see a Shelob or the Balrog or a troll, whatever. Takes into this small little picture. It looks very good, and again with the characters as well. You can recognize the characters, you see the characters and who they are. But there's also a name, just so you know. And even on these small little ones, the number that gives you points or the symbol of abilities is there. And easy to recognize. So the artwork and the components work really well together to create this Lord of the Rings experience. The theme, now, does it shine through? There is of course parts of it that do. You face opponents throughout the game that you recognize from Lord of the Rings, and you gather in friends and helpers that you also recognize. But in the end, it's Frodo and Sam trying to individually get to Mount Doom, fighting to get to Mount Doom. And of course, because it's a competitive game, it removes some realistic, some thematic aspects of it, not realistic, thematic aspects of it, because in the end they were trying to do it together, but in this one they are separate and actually trying to annoy each other, prevent each other from doing anything good. So you lose the thematic touch of it there, with it there. But on all the artwork and the travel through makes sense, and I love it. Of course, you're not quite assembling the correct Lord of the Rings map, but it's okay. the way Mondoom pops up also is kind of takes away from it. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. So it is fine in theme. Now, does it lie to you, and where does it say that? Oh, it actually says it right here. For 2 players, straight up, ages 10 and up, length is 30 to 40 minutes. So it's a 2-player game only. I can't argue with it. I can't tell you which player kind of prefer that. It's a 2-player game. Then you have 10 and up, the ages 10 and up. Yeah, okay. I mean, again, you're just matching these tiles and trying to face opponents. There are some of the symbols and the abilities that they have that might cause a tiny bit of confusion for a younger one, just remembering what the red symbol and the blue symbol is and stuff. But in the end, I can see it. It's a fairly simple game. Now, length 30 to 40 minutes. Yeah, that's fairly accurate. About half an hour. Yeah, that's about the time it will take you to find Mondoom and get to it. So yeah, what's my final score going to be? I'm just gonna bring it out here. My final score of this game is going to be a 7 out of 10. Another 7 out of 10. The gameplay is again very simple. I like it. There is not really depth to it. As I said, there's a little bit of choice, but it might be random whether you get it or not. And of course, the tiles that you land on, you can choose some, and you can't choose some. So there you have a whole bunch of luck designing things. But in the end, I do like the gameplay. As I said, it is Carcassonne, but you get the tiles in hand, making it just much more better because I get a choice. At least I get a choice. And in the end, a 30-minute quick Lord of the Rings game, I do love that. But again, it is probably the theme that drags down. Like, it's there, but it's not really there like the previous games. Although this is from Kosmos and not Ultra Pro. Although I think they have a partnership with Kosmos as well. But yeah, but it is that theme and then the very simplicity of it, of the gameplay, where there isn't really depth, there isn't really anything there. So yeah, but am I keeping it? Yeah, probably. I mean, it's Lord of the Rings, it's a quick game. Love Lord of the Rings, that's why I'm doing an entire month for Lord of the Rings games. So, very much love it, very much keeping it. Thank you very much for watching, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!